All right, so welcome to today's class. But before we proceed with today's class, I would like to just give you guys an overview of all the topics we have been able to cover. So, starting from the one we were able to install Python on our IDE on our laptops, we talked about what an IDE is. We talked about what different types of programming language, high level, low level languages. We said Python is a high level language. Then after that, we went on further to discuss about things like data types and operations in Python that you can perform, like addition, subtraction, the Boolean algebra, Boolean data type, and all the special actions you can perform on Python, like the special operators that you have. So, like the ampersand operation and double division. So, yes, we are able to cover those things. We also were able to look into, I already said data types. Then we looked into conditional statements, the if statement, the else statement, the if else or elif. We also were able to look into iteration. What is iteration? How do you iterate using a for loop? What can you even iterate through? We looked at how to iterate through a string, and after at some point we looked at how to iterate through a list. So I also said anything you can almost a lot of things are iteratable as far as it contains multiple data types. Like a lot of things, I say any package that has many elements inside it is usually iteratable in Python. If it's not iteratable, it will throw an error telling you that iteration of the operation you're trying to perform doesn't work for this particular data type or something. We also were able to look at while loops, the while true loop, and how the while loop works. We built some examples, we built some projects at that point. We did a currency converter, we did some other projects I cannot remember how they work. We also looked at try and except. So in order to prevent your code from crashing, running into errors when the user imputes something that they are not supposed to impute, to use your try and except to catch those errors and prevent your code from crashing. We looked at how to handle files, how to open, close, write, and read from a file. We looked at list, how to work with list, how to slice list, how to append, update, how to what else? Iterate through a list too. We also looked at how to turn a list to a string, how to iterate a string. We've done that already. And now today we are going to finish up by looking into dictionaries and sets and tuples. Set and tuple, that doesn't really have a lot of things in it, so I'll just talk about them. Show you maybe one or two examples and we're done. So today's class will not be much. After today's class, the only thing left for you is probably things like regular expression, list comprehension. I cannot remember any other topic. Regular expressions, and but we'll not cover those topics during this training. They are something you need to look into on your own because they are more deeper, a bit more advanced things. Um, so yes, then the last thing we need to talk about is object-oriented programming. But we're already done with our 30 days, I think. The month is ending tomorrow, next tomorrow. So OOP is a it's a completely different form of programming used in software development. Um, they use it a lot in AI and software development. We'll see how possible it is for us to schedule classes for OOP. But currently, due to some challenges we are facing, we would not want to undertake that burden currently because all our classes are usually free, and so we wouldn't want to overload ourselves, and we still need to kind of make money and get things around. So it's kind of a challenge now. And so today's class might we'll be doing projects throughout this week, so that you guys can consolidate everything you've learned using functional programming and everything we've been teaching you so far. So yeah, so let us finish up today's class and see what we'll be able to do for the rest of the week, the rest of the few days we have in this week to round up our training. All right. So now I'm looking at what dictionaries today. So I have an example. I was writing some code before I started the class. So I have an example here. This is what a dictionary looks like. So a dictionary is basically a data storage variable type. Forget that I'm calling long names. Basically, it's like a variable that you can use to store data in key value pairs. So you can use it to store addressable data now. So where you can add, no, unlike a list where your data isn't addressable, you have to use indexing. Here you can use key, or use key value pairs to address your data, not indexing instead. So the dictionary has its own set of methods. Remember what methods are? They are those actions you can perform on a particular data type. So it has its own set of methods and all. So the first thing I'm going to show you is how do you create a dictionary. So how do you even know it's a dictionary? So the first thing you're looking for curly brackets like this. And then to create a dictionary, all you need to do is there's a key and there's a value. So let me just go over, let me just go down, 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 down. So before I created it, I'll show you guys the time lapse, something like when I was creating the dictionary. How am I trying all through this? But okay, so yeah, so this is when I was creating the dictionary. So the first thing I created was our key model. Then after that, I created a value for it, right? And then I created another key called make. So every car must have a model and a make. So looking at the Toyota 2016 make and all. So now after making the make, I see the make of the car is what Toyota, and I want to now make the mileage. So we have a model, the make, with the mileage of this car. This car has covered about maybe 20,000 miles or so. So now we have our dictionary complete. Everything is here. The model. These are keys. So the first things you see here are keys. Is a key, and a key. You use a key is what you use to access a value. So per se, I want to print out what a value. Now how do I approach this problem? I will say print out car, and then I will specify the value here inside the square bracket. So I will specify the key. So now Python doesn't work. So since you're working with a dictionary, the key is what is important. So I specified my key as model, and when I print it out, it should print out 2016. So if you look down here, you should see 2016 printed out as the key to this operation, to this my dictionary, to the 2016. So if I decide to print the make, I don't know if this will allow me to put another key value there here, but let's see. Not model this time, make. So as you can see, Python already recognizes those this thing. So it takes only one argument apparently. So I have to decide which one I want. So I have to print out only one. Alright, so now print out the make for me, and it should print out Toyota. So as you can see, I can access the values inside here by simply using the keys. Even when I want to update, so there's also another way to get the values from a dictionary. You see this a lot when you're doing like proper software development. You see .get. So whenever you want to pull out something from a dictionary, you can use .get. So I can say .get, and I'll now specify what I want to get. I want to get what model. So I can do I prefer to use this actually. So .get model, and it's 2016. So one of the key features of a dictionary is that a key is unique. You cannot have the same key appear twice. So if I try to replicate this key value pair here, Control C, and let me just bring it to the end here and put it. It will throw an error. So directly here. So aside for that error, it should throw an error. Now I'm going to see a warning. Let me see. Yeah, you see the dictionary contains duplicate keys model. Your keys are supposed to be unique. That's why they are called a key. Because if it's not unique, then how does Python know what you are referring to? So now let me run this and see what will happen. So it got 2013. So it printed the last model that it saw. So let me check if I can print out where model is equal to something. So .get model equal 2016. Let me see if it will work. None. Alright, we didn't see it. So let me check model equal 2013. None. So apparently I cannot run this. It's printing out none. How dot get model equal 2013. Alright, that didn't work out. I thought it would work. So but this is how you get things from this. So this model now, from what I'm seeing, has basically replaced this one. So if I now print model, it's getting me the last model it saw, which is going to be like the latest model it is seeing. But just know your dictionary is like a data, is kind of like a database in a way. So your keys are supposed to be unique, just like people's name are unique in any, like if you want to do passport, and your name and someone with your exact same name has done passport before, it will cause a very big problem for you because all the names are the same. So you already exist in the system. So that's what will happen. So it's the person that they will see and not you. So they cannot create your passport because all those information are already in the system initially. So and systems they do not allow for duplicate keys. Your keys are unique. So this is how you get value. So if you want to update, it's also the same thing. You do card dot there's an update function. So you can use it to update. So what do I want to update? I want to update what now? Maybe I want to update my model to maybe 2014. So let me see. So is either I have to use an effect. So yeah, sorry about that. Now, to update your dictionary, so you have to, if you're using the update method, so you say model, what we're going to do, we're going to put everything inside the we're going to update that particular key value pair. So we're going to create a mini dictionary here. I would say model, and we'll specify what we're trying to update it after, and that is what, maybe 2019. So now with this, if I have to remove this print statement here, so I will remove this and I'll come down here and I will say print what do I want to print? I want to print my car. So initially you can know that model was 2016, but now if we run it, our model is 2019 now, so we've updated it. So so if you even look here, you find that the dictionary didn't print out two models, you only used one. So this one is even not important. So I have to remove it. It doesn't allow for duplicate values, just like a set too doesn't allow for duplicate values. We should look at the set. So that's how you update things in a dictionary. You can also iterate through stuff in a dictionary the same way you iterate through stuff in a list. So these are, you can update things. You want to get things, I showed you how to update. So you can really tell that even deleting stuff from a dictionary should be very simple too. So you do car dot there's delete. Let me see, they should be pop. So if you want to delete something, use pop. So all you need to specify in this place is the key value that you are trying to pop. So what I want to pop is make. So if I pop make from car and I now print out the car here again, so print car, and you see the make is gone. So make is gone. So you can, that's how you add, update, delete from a dictionary. Now so how do you iterate through a dictionary? So let's say this dictionary, we want to iterate it through the same way we did for every other thing. So we can say for I in car, so what do I want to perform? I want to perform an action, right? So let me say print. So let's first ask it to print out I. So let's even see what the this thing is using to iterate through the dictionary. So print out I and print I out. Let's see. So for I in car, print I. So you saw what he used. He used the keys model, make, and mileage. So that's basically model, make, and mileage. So he didn't print out 2016 Toyota and 2000. So what it's doing is uses the keys. Remember, the keys are used to address the values. So that's basically how. So if I wanted to print out the values, I would do this. I'll print out car, then I'll say car what dot get. Now inside this bracket, I'll specify my I. So now I can print out the I. So you see what happened? 2019 Toyota and 2000. So that's how you can iterate through your dictionary very simply, easy, safe, not very difficult. Now we are going to look into list and not list, tuple and set. So what is a set? A set is actually just like a dictionary. They have something in common, and what is that they have in common? They do not allow for duplicate values. Right? So if I want to create a set, let me just call it my set. Let's call it my set, and I'll equate it to this. And now inside here, I do want to 12, comma 13, comma 12, comma 4, comma 5, comma 6, comma 7. So now a set, if I print out this set, guess either, so two things can happen. It will first warn me that there is duplicate value in your set, or it should warn me. If it doesn't warn me, it will not, it didn't warn me sha. So now let me print out the set and show you guys what happens when I put duplicate value inside the set. So print out variable my set, and if I run it, boom, guess what, the 12 didn't appear again. Another thing about a set is that it is unordered. So if I print it out again, the value, the way it is ordered, okay, it's not okay. It didn't switch everything up. So even though you saw how I wrote it in here, 12 first, 23, 60, like it basically scattered the values, like it scattered it. So that's what about a set. It's unordered. It doesn't follow the order at which you create it. It will give yourself a new order when you want to use it. So it's unordered, and it doesn't allow for duplicate values. But you can update it. Can you update it? I think you can add stuff to the set. So let's even try. But what you cannot do is you cannot index a set, because you don't know where the index, you don't know where the number is going to fall, because it's unordered. It will scatter itself. So let me say, let's see if we can update this set. It's possible. So let's say my set dot what, okay, update, remove. Yeah, so if you look at here, we cannot index it. We can update, we can remove, we can add, but we cannot index a set. And this has other functions of set, all these subsets, supersets, intersection. This you get, for those of you that are doing set union, set, all those A union B, A intersection B. Yeah, it can perform all those actions because it's actually a real mathematical set that you're working with here. So that's my keyboard not pressing very well. Something is inside my keyboard. Okay, let me pause and blow it out. All right, I removed it. So now yeah, I was showing you that the set has all those methods basically. So if you want to update it, basically update, what do you want to update to the set? Maybe 2. So if I print it out, I think there's already 2 there. There's no 2 there. Int object is not iterable. What is it saying? And ask to update the set for me now. My set dot update 2. Why is it not there? It's based on the given. Let me see what happened there. Self and S. So all right. So I can only add a set to a set, you get. So if I'm going to update this set, I have to update it with another set. So update, I have to do this. So if I add it now, it should work. Yeah, it works. So that's it for updating a set. If you want to delete a value from a set, the same. So you check the, let me see, delete. How do you delete? Or you cannot delete, actually, you pop. So pop. So what am I popping? I want to pop let's see, 12. That works. It says pop takes no arguments. So I cannot even specify. So if I say pop now, let me see if it will clear the sets instead. So it didn't. Oh, okay. It will remove one item. It should remove an item randomly. So yeah. So let me run it. You remove them 12, 4, 5, 67. You remove 67. Basically like the first item in the set. You removed it. And the way it ordered it, you rearranged the set. So you shall remove 57. Let me see if it's possible for us to decide what elements we pop out of this set. So there's a method that can do that. So, okay, now there's a method that allows us to do it. So that's remove. So I can specify what I want to remove. I want to remove 7 inside here. So you might also take, so yeah, I've removed 7 now. So 7 doesn't appear again. Alright, so that's how you remove things from a set. I've showed you how to remove and how to add. So that's how to add it already. So you cannot update it because, like, when I mean you cannot update it like this 12. You cannot make it 13 because it's not addressable. So yeah. The last thing we'll look at is the tuple. So the tuple, how does the tuple work? Tuple is basically just so let me call it tuple now. So and just equate it to this. So imagine you want to create like a password, a variable to store password that you cannot change it. So if I set something like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 inside here, there are some things I cannot do to this tuple now. So a tuple is also it's still in the family of list of sets, list, and dictionary. So there are some methods like I can index a tuple, so it's indexable. I can count it, but I cannot do things like update or all those other like delete, pop. I cannot do those things because a tuple doesn't allow me to perform those actions like update, but I can index any once it basically a tuple is like constant. Once you create it, it's either you delete the variable, you don't want to use it again because you cannot update it, you get. So or you redefine it and it will reassign itself. But to update it using methods, you can only just after creating it, you can cycle through it using .len to get the len of the count or iterate through the tuple, but you cannot change the tuple. It's not mutable. You cannot mutate it and change it. So with that, I think and with all the knowledge we already have prior to today's class, we should be able to perform simple things like how to iterate, how to select things from a dictionary, how to know what a set is, how to use a set to remove, add things to a set. You will still see the importance of all this later. Even I didn't know how important sets were until I was working on an algorithm a few days ago where I needed to make sure that the user inputs, even if the user inputs dual multiple data like 12, even if he enters 12 50 times, my code will not crash. And I was able to do that using a set. So, well, voila, that is it for this training and today's class. By God's grace, we'll be able to move to OOP. I'm not sure. But for the rest of the week, we'll be doing a lot of trainings. So stay tuned. I mean, a lot of projects. So stay tuned. We'll be rolling out those projects every day. Yeah. So yeah, stay with us. Thank you.